Hey, what's up, you guys? One Day Jacob here to bring you my weekly review of The 100 on the CW. This week we've seen Season 4, Episode 3, which is called The Four Horsemen. And overall, a pretty good episode. I want to say I was as, excited while watching this one as the previous two we've gotten so far, but I thought this was a fine one. We got a decent little surprise at the end of the at the beginning of the episode, with seeing the return of Luna, who's a character I wasn't sure if they'd touch on again. Although I do think I remember reading an article at some point a few months back, saying that we'd see more of her this season. But I think it's good, with the way things are going on the show, that Luna would be brought up again, or at least have to try and get involved with the group somehow. Due to the whole world ending again type of thing going on. So it was good to see her again. She and the others are already being infected or affected by this radiation sickness, and as we find out from Raven a little bit later in the episode, that chances are they're going to have to be ready for whatever is going to come from all this within 2 months or less. So they really have a lot less time than Allie's estimate of 6 months. So of course the episode's still based around them trying to find a solution for that. They're still trying to seal up the arc, but that probably can't be done within 2 months or less. And so Jaha, he ends up telling Clarke and Bellamy of this fallout shelter that was built by these sort of cult heretics, or people who are predicting the end of the world, and they were actually right this time. That part was okay. I thought it was a little bit convenient that we just happened to gain access to this footage of videos before it all happened and such. And along with just shelter being there and them finding it felt a little too easy in a way, and I'm glad it pretty much led to nothing. I'm not glad that our heroes are in still in great risk. I'm just glad that we didn't just have that solution was put in front of us in the third episode. And another big point of this episode is Clarke. She has to make this list of the 100 she will have sealed in the arc if it does have to end up coming to that. And of course Raven's having everyone working around the clock to try and have it ready in time, even though the time limit's been reduced quite a bit. And again, it just sort of parallels the whole original Jaha situation, as well as what what Marcus Kane, Abby, and the others had to handle during that original scenario on the arc. I still like how that like I said, parallels that pretty nicely. And of course that's hard to do. Obviously it would be. And it led to a pretty good scene between Clarke and Bellamy at the end of the episode. And I talked about the Jaha fallout shelter thing a little bit. Of course Murphy, he of course sneaks back to Arcadia because he wants to get some more food for him and his girl to survive. I always forget her name for some reason, but he tries to steal a little bit of what they do have left. But in the meantime, he does overhear Raven and Abby talking about it, so he's become aware of the urgency of this and the fact that there may be a fallout shelter. But Murphy did something a little bit surprising here. He actually, of course, Abby is trying to get medicine for this sick child, as well as a few others, and Luna and stuff like that. But Raven wasn't wanting to give it over because she just wants to preserve every supply they have, for when shit starts really happening that they have to worry about. But Abby sort of throws in her face. So you're saying it's wasting it if we give it to her now? So it's it's a really weird debate, really tough debate with that. What would you do? Would you give it to the child now, or would you preserve it, to save another life when there's even more at risk a little bit later on, then you'd have more to pull from? It's hard to say with that, really. I know people have been frustrated with Abby for a while, saying that she doesn't really see the big picture, and she seems a little bit, kind of like that in this situation as well. But again, you can't really say, oh no, we're not going to do our best to heal this child now. At least if the child's healed now, maybe she'll have a chance with something else a little bit later, when that stuff actually does happen. But again, it's kind of hard versus like what you're logically thinking in your mind and such. Can we really spare this with everyone else at risk later on? But again, you can go back and forth on that for a while. And as well as Octavia, she was sent after someone to retrieve the flame, and she ends up meeting Indra's daughter. And again, I felt it was a little bit weird that, Indra has a daughter, there you go. So here she is. But I guess it makes sense, it sort of fits within the realm of Indra's potential backstory and such, that she would have something like that. And I seen a post about her, about the character earlier this week. And she looks fine. I like her multicolored dreads and such. Although still not sure how they dye their hair like that, like Clarke did. Like the one red color, I guess, could sort of make sense, but the fact that it's like multicolored, I don't know. But I don't think it should matter that much, I guess. She was alright. It's just a little bit funny when her and Octavia have this really even, hand-to-hand fight. Then when when they call them the looters come in, they can just be like grabbed and like cornered, kind of fairly easily. Where with that skill, I should have been able to take quite a few of them down. So I don't know. Then again, I never really bought Octavia to be all that she's cracked up to be, so I don't really mind, I guess. But Octavia does end up lying to Rowan about who actually stole it. She keeps Indra's daughter a secret. And, we get a little bit with Indra and her daughter, obviously they've been estranged for a while, and, Indra's kind of modeled Octavia to be her replacement daughter in a certain way, I guess. But, that part was okay, I guess. It's probably going to get better as it goes, and I just will probably have a big moment with it a little bit later into the season. And of course they finally get the shelter open, Bellamy, Clarke, and Jaha, with a rover, but they find there's just a pile of skeletons on the inside, so the radiation had likely gotten to them, so they can't really rely on that now. And like I said, I'm not glad that our characters are in danger, but I'm glad it led to a dead end. I'm glad they didn't find an easy solution like that quickly anyway. And of course, Clarke at the end, she's still struggling to write the list, and she does put Bellamy's name down, even though he said he didn't want to be on it. Just him trying to save all his people before him as usual. But Clarke puts his name down on it anyway because, despite people's anyway, distracted again. It's a bit weird when a Facebook thing pops up in the sidebar when I'm on a different tab, but anyway. Clarke writes Bellamy's name down on the list anyway because he does deserve it, and that's probably debatable for some fans, but you can understand without Clarke, thanks to him and such. And then we get a pretty good scene between Clarke and Bellamy here. Bellamy's saying if he's going to be on the list, she should be too, and he writes her name down. Although Clarke is writing in pretty well-flowed, like cursive style, and then Bellamy writes, just sort of the complete opposite. So I thought that was kind of funny. And then Luna, she actually survives, so I'm glad that they put more emphasis on her character. It kept the emphasis on her character instead of just having her be back and sort of be in the background, which is what I was sort of thinking before this scene. She's still relevant. Apparently the Nightblood in her actually healed her. It's actually fighting off the radiation, so that's kind of interesting. Maybe the same would have happened with Lexa if she was still around. But it looks like Luna is going to be pretty important this season as well. Maybe look at something in her or something potentially, we don't know. But overall pretty good episode. I won't say as good as the past couple have been, but it's fine. I liked it. I'm going to rate it about an 8.5, 8.6 out of 10. Let me know what you guys thought about it. You can follow me on Facebook, Twitter, subscribe. I'll catch you guys next time. Peace.